Alright, today I'm going to show how to set up a dedicated server and have multiplayer with bots, and I'm going to show you how your friends can join as well. And this is probably going to be broke up in a couple parts, and I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. It's kind of complicated subject, and I'm going to give some links to in the video because when I start off making the map, I've got other videos showing how to make a map if you wanted to make one that way, but you can, however you can make your map and get it in there, this will work too. So first thing, you're going to need several different things. Of course, you're going to need the Ue4 engine, and this is going to be based off of Ue4's multiplayer shooter, and you can find that under the
User in your channel timed out.
the Learn tab, and it is all the way at the bottom right there. So you're going to want to download this, and then once you download it, it's going to show up right here under the library tab,
User entered your channel.
and you're going to want to create a project.
Disconnected.
And once you create a project, it's going to pop up in this area, and you can see here that right now I've got one marked as other, and 4.8 is the recent. And the reason why this is other is because I'll show you why, but it's because it is actually compiling from the exe off of GitHub, which that's going to be another piece that you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to get GitHub. It's free. You just need to sign up for a free account and link your GitHub with your Unreal account. And there's videos. If you search on YouTube for first find the Unreal Engine YouTube channel, and then search there for GitHub, and you'll find a video where it shows you exactly how to set all that up. Although I'm going to go over it a little bit in this video. But okay, so once you get all this set up, we're pretty much done for this area right now. So let's see, another important piece of software is going to be Visual Studio, and I'm going to recommend Visual Studio Community. This one right here, 2013 with update 4. You'll need this to bake out the dedicated server .exe. So download this and install it. Alright, and let's see here, we're going to need, once you get Visual Studio installed, if we go back to, if you go to your default location where you installed the Unreal Engine, which in my case is C, Program Files, Epic Games, 4.8, Engine, and Extras. And then in here you have the Unreal VS, and you know, whatever Visual Studio you downloaded. I was recommending 2013. And then you're going to want to install this. into your Visual Studio. And if you don't know how to do it, just Google this file extension here, VSIX, and it should pop up right away, and it'll tell you how to get that installed. That'll make programming for the Ue4 engine a little bit easier. And here is the debugger, and same thing, you're going to want to put this in your Visual Studio so that you got the debugger working. Same thing, if you don't know how to install it, just search the file or the extension here, and it should be pretty simple. Trying to think if there's anything else. Can't come up with anything right now, so I'm going to get started building this map. And oh, you know what? I'm sorry. We need to go over GitHub. Yep, very important. You got to have a GitHub account, like I said. And let me get it up here for a minute. So when you get a GitHub account and you link it to your Ue4 account, you'll have something like this. You can click on this, and then you're going to want to go to, by the way, this page back here is my profile page. After you log in to GitHub, you'll get a profile. You have your profile page and everything. I get to it by coming up here in my profile, and then, like I say, once you're linked up, you'll have this. Then you click on that again, like I just did, and then you're going to want the Unreal Engine private. And I didn't try this, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. You can download. This is the entire. You need this. You need this from GitHub, because it comes with some files that you need in Visual Studio. Here in Visual Studio, if you're under the source file, you need to have this server.target.cs. And I tried to just download the file. I thought, oh, I'll be tricky and smart, and I'll just download the file and stick it in there, and it didn't work out for me. I tried a bunch of stuff, and I still couldn't get this system to work. So I finally broke down and went and got GitHub, and then that fixed everything. So, like I said, without this server, you will not have this drop down here. You will not have these options in Visual Studio. So, you gotta have it to, bake out a dedicated exe. And when I say dedicated, I'll show you real quick. Here's a dedicated server running. This is on my remote connection here at my house. It's out in my garage. I got a little server station set up, and this is the dedicated server running. This is what we will have. That way you can run your game and play and not have the dedicated server running, on the same machine as you're playing on, to free up a lot of resources. So, okay, so back to GitHub. Like I said, you can download it all here. I recommend just, you're going to want to go, once you get on GitHub, you'll have to go download their software. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I probably won't. I don't know. It's not showing up because they already know I downloaded it. But you're going to want to download it and install it, and then you're going to get an icon like this, and you want all that hooked up. And I keep screwing up here. I should have just stayed on my profile page because you're going to want to make a fork on this. You're going to want to fork this over to your profile basic page for your repository. You want to fork that over, or like I said, you could download the whole thing. What exactly this is doing is this is downloading basically another complete UE4 version, but made for the Visual Studio, which you'll be able to compile this and actually run the UE4 editor and your custom maps from the Visual Studio with the IntelliSense. Okay, so once you do that, once you make a fork and everything, you're going to be able to launch your software here and your GitHub. And once you do, you're going to get some blank looking page like this. You're going to want to go up here and you're going to want to click clone. Okay, and if all goes well and you set up your profile page properly and forked it over and everything, you'll have Epic Games and Unreal. You have Epic Games, and then you're going to want to go over here to the Unreal, and then you're going to want to hit clone. But before you clone it, you're probably going to want to come over here to your options and set where it's going to be cloned to. Like if you have a storage drive or something, you'll probably want to put it over there or something. But you know, I have SSD drives. I have mine set up to run on my SSD drives for the speed. You know, if you got the room, I'd recommend it because it is a resource hog. So, yep, get this set up. Get your cloned GitHub page, and then once you do that, once you get your GitHub set up, you will be able to. You're going to want to go to that directory I just showed you where you cloned it to, and so like I said, mine's on my C drive. I made a folder here and I just named it GitHub, and I put all that stuff that was cloned will end up in this folder, and you'll get a small directory, something sort of like this, but not with all these files yet in it. You should have the generate project files bat and setup bat, and you're going to want to click on these and let them do what they need to do. They're gonna generate some project files and stuff, and you know, I can even go ahead and show you here real quick. It's gonna go and want to update stuff, which is fine. And you're going to want to do the same for your project. This is going to generate, and once you click this one, it'll generate your SLN and your SUO for Visual Studio, which is you know, that's why you need to do that. And then once you do that, let me shut mine off. Once you do that, then you're going to want to, well, you know what, I'm not even going to click, well, I guess I'm going to have to. I might have to pause the video because it's going to want to compile everything for the first time. You see here, it's going to go through and initialize everything, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I hate to pause this video, and you know what, I'm not going to pause it because I don't feel like editing the video, so it looks like it's ready anyhow. So for you though, the first time you guys do it, if you're following along, it's going to take a while. I mean, it's a lot, but you need to do it. And then once you get that compiled and everything, then you're gonna come back over here to your UE4, and remember, you wanted to create your shooter game project, and when you created it, when you create a project, it asks you right here where you want this to be created. So very important, pay attention, and you don't want to really change this name up here because it'll cause problems. So you got to leave this kind of default for now. At least that's my understanding. But you want to go ahead and this is where you just created it. So wherever that is, we have to go there now and do a couple things. So I'm going to pull up where mine is. I'm going to pull up my shooter game, but and I know I put mine right here. So alright, so you're going to want to come down, you'll have a shooter game U project, and you're going to want to right click on it, and you're going to want to go to switch Unreal Engine version. And what this is going to do is it's going to tell the engine to run from basically GitHub. Yours is going to be first set on 4.8, but we want it to run from the GitHub, the Unreal Engine that we just downloaded from GitHub. So point that to there, which it should already be there, and then once you click OK, see, here we go, it's going to generate project files for me over top of what I already have, which is fine. It's going to create a solution in an SUO file for you, so that now we're going to launch Visual Studio, but it's going to be linked into the shooter game. So go ahead and double click your SLN, and it's probably going to take a while again your first time because there's a lot of files it's got to build. And I don't know, I've built mine several times already, so it doesn't take nearly as long. So once you get this running, the first thing you're going to want to basically do is come up here and check to make sure that you have all these available, especially the development server. Okay, because we're just going to only use the development editor and development server today. So once that builds out and everything, let's see here. You can launch it the other way, but I'm just going to go ahead and launch the world builder or the Ue4 engine through this button here, and I'm going to go ahead and build it. And once I get the world builder or the Ue4 engine loaded, which this should load up the shooter game. And like I say, if this takes for a while, just go ahead and fast forward to where okay, it's gonna go pretty fast. Like I say, if this is your guys' first time, it's going to take a lot longer for this to process. And them files there didn't really matter either. If you're worried about all that stuff not showing up on yours. But this is already a map I've got in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put in another map. So first though, I kind of screwed up, because when you guys first load in, you're actually going to, your map's going to look something like this. the shooter game. And you're just going to want to leave this in here. But what you're going to want to do is come over here and you're going to click File and then New Level. And we're just going to hit the default level. And we're going to go ahead and delete. I always delete these out. And now, like I say, I've got other videos showing how to make the map and stuff. If you want to know how to do that, go check those out. I've already done all that part of it, so I'm just gonna bring in my files and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna go ahead and import my height file. Oops. Get up above this. And let's see here. And then we're going to want to go ahead and hook up our layers. And I've already pre-built a material, which I show in them other videos how to do. And we want to save this out. I should have saved already, but you want to save your map. It prevents a lot of problems if you keep making stuff without saving it. And then we want to go ahead and make our layer blend weight. And as that's going, you can still see that Visual Studio is running and we are still debugging. Like I said, these files don't mean anything. That's just what I had it open on. So, like I say, once you get it all set up and you get them other files I showed you need installed, you should have something that looks similar to this setup. Okay, there's the map, and right away I need to refresh the material. So all we got to do is move a node, apply and save, and that will fix that. Make it rebuild. We got some lines. Once this compiles here, that looks better. Let them shaders compile. We got all them funny grids, right? Well, just build the lighting. Okay, well, we need to cancel this because it looks like, yeah, we want to cancel that because we need to set a world setting here, or at least I do, for this huge map. I ran into a big problem where when I was baking out my my lighting with light mask, that after I got done baking it out, it was crashing the Visual Studio, and it was, Ue4, and it has to do with the lighting, and I don't know why, but I do know that if you click this box right here under the world settings, it speeds up everything. We want to click force no pre-computed lighting. So we want to click that, and it's going to say, and we're going to say yep. And now when we build lighting, it's instant, and it takes care of all those crazy shadows and whatever. But like I say, if you guys do a huge map like I have, if you notice, or if you would have noticed over here in the settings, right here, 8,161, this is massive. And a quick way you can tell what size your map is oops, you can come to the top view, zoom out, and right here there's the scale, 1 kilometer. So 1 square is 1 kilometer. So you can easily figure out how many miles or whatever your map is. So okay, we have the map in here, and this is all in the shooter engine. So that means all of their AI files and C++ classes are all basically in, on this map too. And you're going to want, I should have done that when I had that open. You're going to want to build under your volumes, you're going to want to put a light mass importance in, and then you're also going to want, if you want bots on there, you're going to want a nav mesh bounds, which is right here too, nav mesh bounds volume right here. You just drag them out onto the map and scale them to size. I drag that out, and quickly I'll go to the top, and I'll come back over here and just kind of quickly set some sizes there. I don't want that locked, and I only want that about 100. Kind of position that over. That's for your lighting. I don't even know if it's required once you turn off pre-computed lighting, but it's there anyhow. And that's pretty much what you got to do with that. In your AI volume, wherever, like I say, your bots are, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a box like that. You can scale it, move it, and let's see here. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right here for now, and then I will pick up here in the next video.